Coming up on Mountain News this morning, officials are warning everyone to stay safe on ATVs this summer after a deadly wreck. And an animal shelter is facing opposition from a petition to oust its current president.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are coming up on 6:30 on Thursday, June 20th. And I noticed a foggy start this morning, so let's go ahead and send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Fog has been the theme again this morning, Olivia. Hi, everyone. A good Thursday to you. It's 64 outside our door, but at least it has not gotten as completely thick as what we saw yesterday, as we can actually see the buildings from our camera on our tower. All right, up toward Moorhead and along the Ohio, working your way back toward Maysville and Lexington. Some locally dense fog up that way. Visibility is back up to 4 miles at Ashland. Buck and a quarter, Harlan, back toward Williamsburg, and the Somerset visibility has dropped like a rock here in this 6 o'clock hour. Temperature-wise, not bad, still feeling humid. A lot of us in the 60s, some of us in the lower 70s, and a lot of clear skies once you end up seeing the fog burn off, and that'll the way the things will play out as we head through your Thursday with a lot of sunshine and blue sky, but the slightest risk of a pop-up shower or thunder shower. Not everybody will see that, with the forecast high in Hazard today up to 92. More about the First Alert 7-day forecast and potentially tying a record high. When? We'll let you know in this half hour. Olivia?
All right, Tim, thank you. A woman is dead after a crash in Laurel County. The sheriff's office says the crash happened on Kentucky 638 near Johnson Elementary School just after 2:30 on Wednesday afternoon. 2 vehicles were involved. The road was closed about 3 hours but has since reopened. Police say 64-year-old Edith Taylor of London died. A 7-year-old was taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. And we are hearing from rescuers who were at the scene of a deadly ATV crash in Laurel County on Tuesday night. 2 teenagers were riding a 4-wheeler when it ran off Naniva Road about 6 miles east of London. 14-year-old Caleb Morgan died. The other teenager involved was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Members of the local rescue squad say it's important to learn to ride an ATV in a controlled environment where it's safer.
Sometimes we don't think about that. The riders don't think about that. We think we get keys and hop onto the ATV and have fun. There's more to that, and of course to that safety side of things.
Morgan was going to attend North Laurel High School as a freshman next school year. School leaders say their crisis response team will be available to meet with students in the wake of this loss. We now know the name of the teen who was killed in a crash in Wayne County, West Virginia. According to our sister station in Huntington, they say the family has identified the victim as 17-year-old Raylan Painter. Painter died in a rollover car crash that involved several vehicles on Tuesday. A McCreary County man is facing charges after police say he threatened to shoot deputies in the face. It happened yesterday after officials with Wayne County Dispatch received a call from the man's wife saying he was suicidal. When deputies with the Wayne County Sheriff's Office arrived at a campground area, the man jumped out with his hands in the air. Gary Baker was then tased before he was taken into custody. A nurse has pleaded guilty to illegally writing prescriptions in exchange for cash without conducting proper medical examinations. The Herald Leader reports 47-year-old Sarah Parman pleaded guilty in federal court to a charge of conspiracy to distribute pills outside the scope of professional practice. Parman was an advanced practice registered nurse who owned Parachute Recovery Centers in London. She faces up to 20 years in prison and is set to be sentenced in October. We've learned the man at the center of a high-profile murder involving a UK football player has been arrested again. According to court documents, Shane Ragland was arrested on charges of domestic violence and terroristic threatening for an incident that happened June 15th in Frankfurt. Ragland was convicted of the 1994 murder of UK football player Trent DeGuro. That conviction was later overturned, but he pled guilty to a lesser charge of manslaughter. He was released 4 times served, but a series of charges and court appearances have followed in the years since. The tenants at one Paintsville apartment complex are asking for help, saying the property managers have seemingly forgotten they exist. Tenants at Mayfair Village Apartments in Paintsville say the complex and property, which is managed by an out-of-state group, has been in disrepair for a long time. From water leaks to broken air conditioning units, they say speaking to someone about their concerns or getting someone in the area to fix their problems has been impossible. We have contacted the management group, the man who tenants say has been managing the property, and the Department of Housing and Urban Development regarding the claims, but have not received a response. A recent petition to oust Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter President Tony Vaughn has been brought to WYMT's attention during the last couple of days. I sat down with the creator on why she started it and the shelter president himself about the ongoing situation.
The petition is titled Demand for Resignation of Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter's current president. Something petition creator Kelly Hudson says she started as a concerned citizen, seeing things circulate on social media.
Mostly what I've seen is just like the Facebook drama that I think everybody around here has kind of been aware of. I've kind of been watching things over the last couple of months, progressively getting more and more concerned.
According to the petition on change.org, Hudson wrote under Why the Petition Matters column, in part, quote, "Our hearts remain heavy from the disturbing reality that our local animal shelter has been severely mismanaged under the incumbent president," end quote. Another section reads, "It is time to save our community animal shelter from further deterioration and above all to prevent any more innocent lives from being lost."
The posts about animals being euthanized without even attempting to get them help. The euthanasia rate has increased, and that's evident in the posts.
But according to documents obtained by WYMT from Beaver Creek Veterinary Hospital, the primary veterinarian used during Vaughn's time as president, 49 animals were euthanized in 2024. Every euthanization was attributed to one of 3 primary reasons: aggression, injury, and sickness. None listed as euthanized due to an overcrowded shelter. Other concerns, Hudson says, for reason of petition include disaffiliation from certain rescue groups.
On Saturday, when the shelter page posted that they were separating from Starfish Animal Rescue, I just thought something's got to change, because they're the largest rescue that pulls hundreds of animals out of the shelter every couple of weeks.
And the other disaffiliation as of recent was Aspire Appalachia. So we asked Vaughn his reason for why they are no longer working together.
A lot of the things that have come to the forefront now and are still fluid are not just illegal activities. Diversion of our funds, which I'm still working on at this point, information that's been withheld from me since I took over. Instead of coming in here and taking pictures and slamming us on Facebook, why don't you come in here and wash dishes, or come in here and walk dogs, or just come and do something positive instead of trying to hurt what's already in desperate need of help.
WYMT is working to get answers about whether criminal charges have been filed and if state officials will visit the shelter for an official investigation.
The animal shelter is temporarily closed to the public. As Vaughn says, he has requested from state officials to come in and look for themselves and provide guidance moving forward. If you would like to read statements provided to WYMT from both Starfish Animal Rescue founder and an official with Aspire Appalachia, you can look for this story on our website. WYMT is continuing to follow the investigation and will share the facts as we learn them. Jackson County Public Schools has a new superintendent. Renee Smith has been announced by the Jackson County Board of Education as the school's next superintendent. School officials say Smith has 25 years of experience with Clay County Public Schools, including 13 years as a classroom teacher. A Southern Kentucky firefighter who was hurt during a fire is back on the job. The London City Fire Department says Brandon Buckner resumed his duties yesterday. He was one of 5 London firefighters who had to be treated after getting caught in the backdraft of a fire last month. He was flown to UK Hospital after the accident and returned home earlier this month.
And we've got a day where we're dealing with some areas of fog that are locally dense across the region, up Ashland over to Moorhead, and then as you leave Hazard over to Harlan and get over toward Williamsburg. Otherwise, as that burns off, we'll see a nice amount of sunshine today and a forecast high in Hazard up to 92. Only issue today, there is the slightest risk of a shower or thunder shower popping up. Tomorrow will be a carbon copy, but we could be taking a run toward a record high. We'll give you all those details with the First Alert 7-day forecast coming up in just a few moments. Olivia?
Thanks, Tim, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:38. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. 2 people now dead as a result of the New Mexico wildfires, but soon officials say storms could play an important factor.